What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to be talking about Kawhi Leonard. It really sucks to hear about something like this, man. I mean, this is one of my favorite players, but also one of the premier players in the NBA. Somebody that I was advertising as the second best player in the NBA before his injury. He was a guy on a team like the Spurs, the lone all-star on that team that was able to take over a game, be completely unstoppable on offense while also being so good of a defensive player that opposing offenses would avoid him. That's how good this guy was. That's how impactful of a player he was. And I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say was, because certainly a lot of these skills that he has shown when he comes back, he's obviously going to be a good defender. He's not going to lose that defensive IQ. However, when it comes to the explosiveness, when it comes to his scoring ability in terms of jump shooting or something like that, we might not see the exact same athleticism. And I'm praying that we do, because this guy, he's young. He is so goddamn good. He's a guy that's, before the injury, getting better every single season. And then last year, he exploded as one of the top MVP candidates. Led his team through 2 rounds of playoffs before Zaza Pachulia ended his season, because the Golden State Warriors, they couldn't stop this guy. He was leading his team to a 25-point lead in Oracle while dominating the game. He had like 27 points in the first half, or maybe it was a few minutes after the first half. And then it ended. Zaza Pachulia stepped under his ankle when he was shooting the jump shot, and he hasn't been right ever since. Of course, he came back and he's played 9 games this year, but at this point, what I'm hearing, the Spurs, they've decided to hold him out. They want to continue his rehabilitation process. He's out indefinitely. They ruled out him not playing for the rest of the season, but this is certainly huge, because think about it. The Spurs aren't going to have Kawhi Leonard for probably most of the remainder of the year. He's not going to be back for All-Star break, I would assume, or, in February. Maybe he comes back in March. Who knows? But he's out for right now. I mean, I don't know. Out indefinitely, that doesn't really mean anything. That just means he's out for the time being. They don't know when he's coming back. But, I mean, yeah, I guess it's possible he could be back in late February. I guess that's, not impossible of a thing to happen. But and I hope it happens. But at this moment, it would look like they're holding him out until probably around April or March or something like that, and end of March, maybe beginning of April, I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be a little while. And it's not like he got re-injured. They just I don't know, they want to rehab him more. I don't really know what that means. There really aren't that many details right now, because we just heard about it, but he's going to be out for a while. And to be honest, I don't know how I feel about this as an NBA fan, because of course, yes, you can't play him if he's not right, even though he's played 9 games and he's been playing a decent amount, and he's had some good games. I don't really know if anything sudden happened, but maybe these guys just realized, we should just save him some more. But it's clear this is a very serious injury, and a weird one too, because they were talking about how this was this injury that they'd never seen before, the quadriceps one, which I'm not completely sure. I don't even think it's related to the Zaza injury, because I think that was an ankle, but this was his quadriceps. Maybe it was related somehow, but I don't think it's the exact same thing. But Kawhi Leonard is he's out indefinitely, and the Spurs, they're a team that I believe they're in 3rd place still. Maybe they're in 4th. They're near 4th. I know, because Minnesota tied them, but then they lost last night. I don't think the Spurs lost last night, so the Spurs, they are currently in 3rd place, but not by far in 3rd place. They're right next to the Timberwolves. They're going to make the playoffs regardless. This is a playoff team with a coach that knows exactly how to get a team like the one he has into the postseason. However, obviously they can't win anything without Kawhi Leonard. They have a 0% chance of winning anything without Kawhi Leonard. They're kind of reminding me of the Grizzlies in years past. A really solid team that had a lot of good players, that was well coached, that they were good. They were good enough to make the playoffs every year, but they could never beat a great team. The Spurs without Kawhi Leonard kind of reminds me of that team, because, they're good, they're fundamentally sound, they have a calling card that is, their system, their defense, their ball movement, whatever, but they're just not going to beat the Warriors or the Rockets or these elite teams And, I think that the Spurs won't have to worry about that because Kawhi should be playing. And God, I hope that he doesn't have to go through another injury because he's looking super injury prone. I don't even know if he's getting injured again. I know he had that shoulder thing, which is completely different, which was done with like really quickly. But now more rehab on that quad injury. But if he comes back and he's coming back before the end of the season, is that enough time to get him acquainted? Like, can you get him used to playing in the league again in that amount of time and ready for the playoffs? Because the playoffs, I mean, they're grueling, and he's played in the playoffs before, of course, and started in the playoffs, but I mean, coming off that injury, it might not be ideal. But I guess, in a way, it's like he is going to be fresh. He might be rusty, but he's not going to have all the wear and tear that all these other players have. A lot of these players go into the playoffs, they play 80 games in the season, and they get worn out. And some of them get injured. But Kawhi Leonard, he'll only have played maybe 15, 20 games. So he will definitely not have the same wear and tear that a lot of these other guys have, and maybe that might serve as an advantage. Maybe, they're kind of just resting him for the playoffs. What if the Spurs are what if this is a secret scheme by the Spurs to get Kawhi some rest? I don't know. You never know. Spurs, they got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Nah, but it's sad because this is a player that, he was supposed to be a face of the NBA. He still is, and I hope he can do that. But right now, it's just a tough time. It's like, it sucks. Injuries suck in general. And when a guy keeps getting injured and you're missing time like this, you gotta start worrying a little bit because it's unusual. And players don't just routinely miss time like this, and players don't routinely get injuries like this where they have to rehab more after they come. Like, I don't know when the last time this shit happened is, or was, but that's that. Kawhi Leonard's injured. He's out indefinitely. It sucks. We're missing a great player in our league, but, I mean, hopefully he can come back as soon as possible. He can be that same player he was last year as soon as possible, and we don't have to worry about this for too much longer because, I want to see this guy play. I want to see our stars shine in the NBA, and I don't want injuries to be a huge roadblock for that. So that's going to do it. Let me know what you guys think about Kawhi Leonard's injury. Do you think that he can come back and be that same player he was? Is he just injury prone now? God, I hope he doesn't have an injury-riddled future that just kind of derails his career. That would be one of the worst things. I would hate to see that, but it's happened before. I hope it doesn't happen again. But let's hope this guy can get back fast and be that same player he was real soon. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this. Subscribe if you're new. And, see y'all later.